Welcome to this TV Tacoma Forum for Metro Parks Commissioner Position 3. I am Liz Knox of the League of Women Voters, Tacoma Pierce County, and I will be moderating. Thank you to all who have worked to put this forum together. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization whose mission for the past 101 years has been to empower informed and active participation of citizens in government. Candidate forums are one of the many ways we do this. Anyone 16 years or older can be a member of the League. For more information on our membership, go to our website at www.tacomapiercelwv.org. The candidates for Metro Park Commissioner 3 in ballot order are Rosie Ayala and Carolyn Edmonds. Welcome, Rosie and Carolyn. Thank you both for being here. You have agreed to our ground rules, which, among other things, say that you will not discuss each other in your answers. Will you please give a thumbs up that you agree to this and other important ground rules? Thank you. Candidates have 2 minutes for opening statements, 90 seconds for each question, and 1 minute for closing statements. Our timekeeper will be Terry Baker. She will signal you when you have 1 minute remaining, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and when it is time to stop. At the final signal, you may finish a short sentence. In ballot order, Rosie Ayala will give the first opening statement, followed by Carolyn Edmonds. Rosie, your opening statement, please.
Hi, greetings. First and foremost, I want to thank the League of Women Voters for all that you do in ensuring informed decision-making and hosting opportunities for candidates to share. My name is Rosie Ayala. I'm a candidate for Position 3 of Metro Parks Board of Commissioners. I am a career-long education access advocate and youth development provider, currently serving as the Associate Director of Collective Action at Foundation for Tacoma Students. This position serves all of Tacoma within the world of education, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to work with all of Tacoma within the world of parks and recreation as an at-large commissioner. I'm running for Parks Board because of my work with youth and the importance that parks and recreation services play in the social, emotional health, physical health, and leadership development of youth and young adults within my scope of work. Tacoma's most underserved and underrepresented youth often gain social capital through parks and recreation services. I've worked with families that have not visited staple grounds like Owens Beach and Point Defiance. And I would be remiss if I didn't do my part and serve as a candidate. I've been tallying areas of interest within my conversations with voters. The top 3 are in no particular order: park safety, community voice, and biodiversity. In order to achieve the solution to these areas, it will be critical to engage in partnership to enhance the breadth of what is accomplished and create systemic long-term solutions, equity and community voice to ensure all voices of Tacoma are represented, and to assess our implicit operational practices and continuous improvement to remain an example of quality. This is obviously not a full list. However, I feel they are leverage points for success and important for Metro Parks. I hope the public can join me in coming together to make our parks and recreation services the very best it can be. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. And now Carolyn.
Oh, finally. That mute button, it trips everybody up, doesn't it? Thank you very much to the League of Women Voters and to TV Tacoma for this wonderful service. I am Carolyn Edmonds, and I'm a candidate for Metro Parks Tacoma Board of Commissioners. Metro Parks owns 70 parks, many community centers. They employ over 300 full-time staff and hundreds more of the park.
Carolyn, you're muted again. And your audio is kind of going in and out. There you go.
Okay. I have to start over? What should I do now?
Just keep going.
Going. Okay. Metro Parks Tacoma has a budget of over $200 million, part of which is funded by your tax dollars. The pandemic has affected everyone. Metro Parks Tacoma is facing a reduced budget and loss of experienced staff due to the extended closures. Metro Parks Tacoma needs a board of commission. Metro Parks Tacoma is a government that needs a commissioner with experience in government policy and budgeting. My background includes elected office in the Washington State Legislature as a state representative. I currently serve on the City of Tacoma Planning Commission, and my community in service includes past co-chair of the Northeast Tacoma Neighborhood Council and the City of Tacoma Police Department volunteer. My job as a Windermere Realtor takes me into every neighborhood in the City of Tacoma. And I am a part-time senior fitness instructor for Metro Parks Tacoma at the Norpoint Center. This gives me a unique view of Metro Parks and how it relates to the community and the residents in which it serves. I am running because I think more communication is needed with residents. The Board of Commissioners needs a newsletter. They need to have town hall meetings. They need to talk to you directly about what it is you want and you need in your Metro Parks. Thank you for participating in today's candidate forum, and I hope I can earn your vote.
Thank you. And now we'll move on to the questions. We'll rotate who answers first for each question. The first one will start with Carolyn Edmonds. Here's the question. What do you see as the most important community partnership for the Parks Commission and why?
I think the most important community partnership for Metro Parks is with other governments that serve the same residents that Metro Parks serves. I think there's partnerships that can be developed with the City of Tacoma and with Tacoma Public Utilities to provide additional open space and parks. An excellent example is the Cushman substation in North Tacoma. It's a decommissioned substation. It's an old, gorgeous building on a large piece of land. And a partnership with the city and TPU would or could provide that as another community center, has a open space, has a park, a number of things that could be done with that parcel in partnership with Metro Parks, the City of Tacoma, and Tacoma Public Utilities. Same thing with the schools. There currently is a partnership that exists. For example, many of the schools and Metro Parks joined together to create ball fields. That is something that needs to continue. And I think Metro Parks has an opportunity for partnership with other governments like Pierce County and any government that owns land within the City of Tacoma is a potential partner for parks and open space.
Thank you. Rosie Ayala, what do you see as the most important community partnership?
Thank you for that question. I definitely see partnering with other government agencies and other all Tacoma serving organizations to be critical. As I mentioned in my opening statement, park safety is a big concern of a lot of voters. And I think of the way our houselessness has impacted safety, the way accessibility, like physical accessibility, has impacted safety, the way lighting has impacted safety. And so I believe City of Tacoma is a great partner. As Carolyn mentioned, TPU is a great partner in this. And it's important to engage collaboratively to reduce a lot of the service duplication, the duplication that exists amongst these partners, and to work in alignment for the people of Tacoma. Some success that I would anticipate that would come from this is that is that community voice may increase as these services come together. There would be long-term sustainability of park activation, and there would be more support from other community organizations that would catalyze more partnerships in order for Metro Parks to be the best success that it can be for Tacoma residents.
Thank you. Our next question, and for this one, Rosie will go first. What are your two favorite parks and why?
That is a great question. I will start with my most used park, Stewart Heights off of McKinley and 56. I love that park due to the diversity of things you can do at the park, the walkability of the park. I myself started playing pickleball 2 summers ago, and there's a big pickleball community that gathers there. We share the courts with the Lincoln tennis team, who also practices there. There's a pool there, and it's really easy to access other major streets and go to other businesses. My other favorite park is Basalt. I also participated in some softball this last summer, and we did practices at Basalt, and I got to see the way that other folks were able to do their little league there, and I saw community gather there, and I saw celebrations there, and I think this is one of the biggest ways that open door spaces can support people is by making things inviting for them so that they can activate the park spaces.
Thank you. And Carolyn, your two favorite parks?
Well, my favorite park has to be the Norpoint Center and Park, because I live across the street. So that's where I walk my dog every day. That's where I go to teach my seniors. That's where the community gathers in the summer for movies. And there's a skateboard park and there's a spray park. Boy, it's just used all year round. And it's such an important asset to the community here in Northeast Tacoma. And unabashedly, my second favorite park is Point Defiance. Point Defiance has something for everyone. You have walking trails, you have forest, you have waterfront, you have a rose garden, you have a zoo, you have an aquarium. You could spend hours and sometimes probably days if there was a place to sleep, just enjoying what that park has to offer the residents. And it's easily accessible. So, yeah, that would have to be my other favorite park. Oh, and let's not forget the zoo lights. I've been going to zoo lights since my kids were tiny. And even as adults, we still enjoy participating in that annual event.
Thank you. And Carolyn will go first on our next question. What unique contribution will you make as a Parks Commissioner?
I think my unique contribution is going to be a knowledge of the Metro Parks as a government and as an employer and as a regional service provider. I also will provide a unique perspective because I've been in elected office, so I understand how the different governments work together to provide services for a community. I also understand government policy and how policies start at the state and filter on down to the ground level, which is where Metro Parks Tacoma provides the services. I understand government budgets and how tax dollars need to be spent wisely, and that an elected body like the Board of Commissioners needs to be accountable to the residents of Tacoma. I provide a unique experience because of a combination of education. I have a master's in public administration, practical experience, serving in the legislature, serving on the City of Tacoma Planning Commission, and direct experience within the Metro Parks organization itself.
Thank you. And Rosie, your unique contribution.
Thanks for that question. I would say I have a diverse perspective of what it means to participate in parks. My formal education is systemic organizational development. I've been able to practice this in my leadership as a nonprofit, overseeing nonprofit organizations. As an executive team member, I have also done some community organizing to ensure that folks are being served in the way that they are intended to be served. As an elected official, it is our responsibility to be serving people. And it's my greatest skill set behind that is to really listen intently to the needs and wants of the people. I am a collaborator and a partner in all aspects, both within my personal employment and also within my long-term planning. I've been able to work with folks of all ages and all backgrounds. I personally live on the south end of Tacoma, and it's a location that has a lot of service desert spaces. And it's something that I would definitely want to bring forward as far as ensuring that we have all of Tacoma represented in our park system. Thank you.
Thank you. And Rosie, you're first on this next question. What do you see as the most important issue for this park district in the next 4 years, and how would you address this issue?
Yes, thank you. I think one of the most important, there are many, but definitely one that is pressing is the budget. It is something that I know the executive team of Metro Parks has been thinking about it. It's something that the public has, there's been questions from the public about it. And it's something that we really need to be intentional as far as planning for the future of Metro Parks. And we can't necessarily plan for the future of Metro Parks without first soliciting the voices of Tacoma to ensure that whatever fiscal decisions are made, there is something that ties the community and galvanizes the community to support the budgetary process. And I'm looking forward to be a part of this process. I'm looking forward to being a part of a team that has diverse skill sets that can support the many ways that this fiscal gap can be closed for Tacoma, for Metro Parks, and for all the staff members that work at Metro Parks. Definitely those that provide services and programming, because that's really what the public interfaces with the most. And it's important that they also receive a little attention as far as what it means to have a fiscal perspective.
Thank you. And Carolyn, what do you see as the most important issue?
I think the most important issue is accessibility. The city of Tacoma has a tool. It's called the Equity Index. And according to the tool, it's an interactive tool that any resident can access by going to the City of Tacoma website. But if you look at it from the perspective of parks and open space, the Equity Index indicates that 31% of the residents of Tacoma have limited access to parks and open space. In 2019, the Metro Parks Board of Commissioners passed a policy that the goal was to provide a park or open space within 10 minutes of every resident of Tacoma. Obviously, the pandemic has prevented progress on this goal. But I think with wise budgeting and careful stewardship of the tax dollars and the income revenue that Metro Parks receives from the memberships and from their facilities, that they can work towards improving accessibility and still maintain a sensible budget that provides the services to the residents that are wanted and needed.
Thank you. And Carolyn, you'll go first on this next question. Currently, there are only 2 volunteer opportunities listed on the Metro Parks website, one in October and one in November, and both are at the same park. What will you do to increase opportunities for volunteers to participate in parks programs?
I think you're referring to the CHIP program, at least I hope you are. That is where volunteers gather at a park and help with cleanup. I think that could be expanded to be included in every park within Metro Parks and the city of Tacoma. I also think that if the Board of Commissioners are directly involved in these volunteer programs, that you'll see more volunteers showing up. To my knowledge, that from talking to someone who has participated, the commissioners, they might come and say hi, but they don't actually get their hands dirty. Volunteerism is a great asset that Metro Parks does not take full advantage of. And I think they could.
Thank you. And Rosie, what will you do for volunteer opportunity?
Thanks for that, Liz. I actually have been speaking to a lot of voters that have, in no official way, done a lot of park cleanup. And I think this is one of the ways where partnership could really catalyze more volunteer opportunities. So the work is happening across Tacoma in small and different pockets. And what I'm assuming is happening is that there isn't a conversation happening with the CHIP program. And it's important for both the staff of Metro Parks to understand how community has leaned in through their official process, but also how different organizations are really galvanizing people to do the work. I think of the individuals that I've spoken to that talk about biodiversity and park cleanup, and how there is a lot of work happening to clean up some of our spaces that have some invasive species, excuse me, and how they feel very passionate about that work and kind of take it upon themselves to do that cleanup. So a big part of this is just awareness of what is happening, awareness across all parts of Tacoma and how different communities are leaning in, and opportunities to engage, whether it's through CHIP or different branches of CHIP, and also thinking through what is the community interested in cleaning up and providing volunteer opportunities for. Thank you.
Thank you. And Rosie, you will go first for this next question. Martin versus Boise mandates that if no alternative is provided, people cannot be prohibited from using public space for sleeping. Although the Metro Parks are governed separately from the city, they are nevertheless public spaces in the city. What should the role of Metro Parks be in providing shelter opportunities, given the dearth of available shelter in the city?
Thank you. I think there is Metro Parks can do a lot. However, I do want to emphasize that in order to make long and sustainable changes for those individuals who do not have homes to sleep in, it's important to partner with the city and to ensure that we are creating policy that supports those impacted by houselessness. Metro Parks is able to participate by informing, by providing some open spaces and policies themselves, by creating a long-term plan with other service providers, by triaging. I think triaging is a great opportunity to support those individuals who are impacted by houselessness, but also to provide other services that they may need in that process. That again, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I do think that partnership with both small and large organizations are important in order to do this. I know that there are a lot of concerned voters and residents of Tacoma that see this as as an issue, and I think that it's going to take a lot of folks doing their part to make a long-term plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Carolyn, your response to Metro Parks and the dearth of available shelter in the city.
I think the responsibility for Metro Parks, first and foremost, is to provide safe places for residents to enjoy the park, open space, and recreate. I don't support any policy that would allow tents in parks or creation of homeless encampments within our parks. That being said, Metro Parks does have a responsibility as a community partner to work with the city of Tacoma, the schools, any other partnerships that exist in helping create a living environment for those that are seeking it. And that would include the shelter, that would include community and social services, that would include worker retraining programs, that would include mental health and other counseling services, and it would include providing childcare, providing recreational services for youth, after-school programs. Those are the parts in which Metro Parks can partner effectively to create some long-term change in our community.
Thank you. And now it's time for closing statements. You each have up to 1 minute. Carolyn, will you give your closing statement, please?
Thank you to the League of Women Voters and to TV Tacoma for this valuable community service. I am running for Metro Parks Board of Commissioners. I am running because I see needs within the Board of Commissioners for someone who's experienced, someone who's knowledgeable, and someone who knows the community. My priorities are increasing communication with residents through newsletters, town halls, sending the Board of Commissioner meetings out to the community. My second priority is to make sure we provide the services and expand accessibility within our limited budget. I'm Carolyn Edmonds, and I am running to provide service to you, the residents of Tacoma. Thank you.
Thank you. And Rosie, your closing statement, please.
Thank you all for your time and your consideration. First and foremost, I want to encourage every person that is able to do so to go out and vote. I would love to see our voter turnout cross the 30% threshold. I want to thank the League of Women Voters and all members that have made this possible. My desire to run for Metro Parks comes from the heart and from the need to see a better future for all people here in Tacoma. I believe it's possible through collective action and through collective care, accountability, and voice. Thank you again to the League and TV Tacoma. Please make sure to go out and vote, and I hope that I have earned your vote.
Thank you. Thank you to the candidates and to those who are watching. In ballot order, Rosie Ayala and Carolyn Edmonds are the candidates for Metropolitan Park Commissioner District 3. Thank you to TV Tacoma, the League of Women Voters, our timekeeper, Terry Baker, and to our audience. Be sure to read your voters pamphlet. Go to vote411.org, where you can find answers to questions posed to all candidates running for office, and read the candidates' websites. Look for your ballot in your mailbox during the week of October 17th. Be sure to vote by November 2nd using one of the 46 drop boxes in our county, or mail your postage paid ballot as soon as possible after you receive it. Again, thank you for participating.